Welcome to vSkills YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn about the top interview questions for human rights law. So, let's get started. Question number 1. How you will manage the sensitive data related to human rights for a client? The answer is: data related to human rights is of utmost sensitivity and hence, needs high security and privacy. Role-based access is provided to employees in the organization, which refers to the provisioning of the data access to the employee as per their role. The specific data access level is determined and granted to specific employees whom they use to access the data. Data monitoring and audit are also conducted. Question number 2. What has been your experience with new technologies in the human rights domain? The answer is: human rights laws and legal cases have seen the emergence and impact of new technologies for addressing human rights violations by different technological modes, namely WhatsApp, email, video conferencing like Google Teams, Zoom call, and many more, has not only increased the reach of arms of law but also provided a ray of hope to the human rights victim to be heard and their victimization being resolved. I not only use these technologies but have also imparted training on them to victims and colleagues. Question number 3. What do you think of the most important role of a human rights legal officer? The answer is: as human rights legal officer, the most important role is to provide sound and effective legal advice related to human rights victims or the NGO or non-governmental organization. Human rights legal officers are mainly engaged in researching human rights law to give advice for specific cases. They are also responsible to draft and review agreements and settlements for court proceedings. Question number 4. What is the impact of human rights protection on a company or country? The answer is: a company or country is recognized by its focus on human rights, ease of living and human rights index, which has a profound effect on the image. Hence, human rights need to be protected at all costs to maintain the image and provide opportunities to all, as well as address human rights violations. Human rights impact in the short and long term is: the short-term impact leads to rising in human rights violations and persecution, and long-term impact is loss of image on the global stage. Question number 5. What tasks are performed by a human rights legal officer? The answer is: a human rights legal officer undertakes various tasks which usually include drafting, reviewing and negotiating human rights legal cases, as well as filing and prosecution if needed. Question number 6. How do you assign goals to your human rights legal team? The answer is: human rights are a team effort as it involves enormous tasks for execution. I at first design and develop goals as per the SMART approach and allocate them to team members considering their skills and past performance. Question number 7. How to be updated on new trends in the human rights domain? The answer is: intellectual property rights have been impacted due to new technologies, especially communication technologies and the internet, involving WhatsApp, Facebook, video conferencing and many more. New laws on a local, global or national are also passed, which needs to be reviewed, as well as important cases and judgments by courts are of prime importance. I regularly check new laws being passed for human rights and cases being settled by courts for human rights by subscribing to legal news updates, seminars and conferences as available. Question number 8. How to prioritize human rights related legal tasks? The answer is: human rights related legal matters involve multiple tasks to be accomplished on daily basis. Hence all tasks need to be prioritized. I prioritize tasks depending upon the task's relevance, urgency, the cost involved and resource availability. Question number 9. How do you organize the paperwork for human rights related legal matters? The answer is: the human rights related legal matter involves lots of hard copy documents to be managed, like rulings, filings, receipts, and more. We reduce the workload by using electronic data. Proper document organization helps us to organize information related to human rights. Question number 10. How do human rights can trigger a change in an organization? The answer is: intellectual property rights involve not only protecting your own products, brands, but also implementing processes and procedures for being competitive. These processes usually involve changes to be made in a working of the company. Hence, planning and implementation of the change are undertaken involving all stakeholders, and then the change is implemented following change management principles. Question number 11. What is the basis of human rights as defined by UDHR? The answer is: UDHR expands to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was an international effort for the spread and acceptance of human rights by countries across the globe. Universal Declaration of Human Rights defined human rights as an essential right, and it was based on the inherent dignity of an individual human being. Question number 12. What does having a law in society achieves? The answer is: having a law in the society helps a society to regulate the relations between men, to alleviate the intensity of conflicts and promote peace by keeping everything in order and listing do's and don'ts wherein don'ts are punishable. Question number 13. What are the main factors that restrain equality? The answer is: maintaining equality in a society is the ultimate aim of law, so as to maintain equanimity amongst varied groups in a society. But various factors hinder equality, which usually is due to cultural, political and economic factors. Question number 14. What is needed for perfect justice? The answer is: perfect justice is the ultimate aim for legal professionals so as to maintain harmony in society. Perfect justice requires various aspects to be maintained and protected, which includes equality, morality and ethics. Question number 15. What are the state duties as per the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? The answer is: the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, being an international agreement for human rights, mandates specific duties to all its state members, which include to provide an effective remedy for persons who claim to have been victims of a human rights violation, conduct prompt and impartial investigations of alleged violations of human rights, and ensure that all persons under its jurisdiction are able to enjoy all social, economic, political and other rights and freedoms in practice. Question number 16. What is the role of the Trusteeship Council of the United Nations? The answer is: the Trusteeship Council of the United Nations has all 5 members of the Security Council. The Trusteeship Council is responsible to promote harmonious relations among the people of dependent territories, make the territories independent, and decolonizing all the territories. Question number 17. What is included in the right to freedom? The answer is: the right to freedom is one of the basic human rights to be provided, and includes the freedom of speech and expression, freedom of peaceful assembly and freedom of movement throughout the territory of India. Question number 18. Which rights are not in Part 3 of the Constitution as fundamental right but considered as fundamental by the Supreme Court? The answer is: specific rights listed as in Part 3 of the Constitution as fundamental right includes mainly right to equality, freedom, life, and many more, but do not include few rights which are upheld by the Supreme Court as fundamental, which are right to privacy, to travel abroad and speedy trial. Question number 19. Where is the International Court of Justice located? The answer is: the International Court of Justice is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations. It was established in June 1945 by the Charter of the United Nations and began work in April 1946. The seat of the court is at the Peace Palace in The Hague, Netherlands. Question number 20. Which values will regulate the behavior of individuals? The answer is: the behavior of individuals can be influenced and regulated by making them aware of the basic values, which include conformity, the significance of dignity for human rights, and being treated with the utmost respect. Question number 21. What does the NHRC do in India? The answer is: NHRC expands to the National Human Rights Commission of India and is a public institution for the protection of human rights. NHRC can intervene in any proceeding involving any allegation of violation of human rights pending before a court, visit any jail or other institution under the control of the state government, where persons are detained or lodged for purposes of treatment, reformation or protection, for the study of the living conditions of the inmates, and make recommendations and also review the safeguards provided by or under the Constitution or any law for the time being in force for the protection of human rights, and recommend measures for their effective implementation. Question number 22. What an NGO can do in India? The answer is: an NGO or non-governmental organization is not run by the government and is independent, but can do specific tasks which include running educational institutions, fighting for the protection of human rights, and providing medical assistance. Question number 23. What do you mean by NCSC? The answer is: NCSC expands to National Commission for Scheduled Castes, and it works for downtrodden and specific social classes, which are scheduled caste, Dalits and Hariats. Question number 24. What can be claimed by a right holder? The answer is: a right holder can lay claim to the bearer of the correlative duty, exercising a right in the object of right. Question number 25. What declaration took place in 1776? The answer is: the American Declaration of Independence took place in 1776, and it emphasized individual rights, with all men being created equal and the civic duties of the individual. Question number 26. How do you delegate tasks to subordinates in your human rights legal team? The answer is, task delegation to subordinates is done as per their skill level, availability and past performance. Question number 27. How will you manage conflict in your human rights legal team? The answer is, disagreements lead to conflicts amongst the team members. As per the situation applicable, I apply conflict management techniques like collaborating, forcing, accommodating or compromising after identifying the basis for disagreements. Question number 28. Why you are suitable as human rights legal officer? The answer is, as a human rights legal officer, I am having extensive experience in legal advice as well as drafting and reviewing agreements for human rights. I also possess requisite skills that are crucial to human rights, which include communication, empathetic and coping under pressure. Question number 29. How do you manage your time for human rights-related legal tasks? The answer is, time is precious and hence is to be managed at first. I use simple time management techniques like using to-do lists, being aware of time wasters and optimizing the work environment. Question number 30. Why do you want to work as human rights legal officer at this company? The answer is, working as human rights legal officer at this company offers me many avenues of growth and enhance my human rights related legal skills. Your company has been in the domain of drafting and reviewing contracts, agreements, and settlements related to human rights on a national and international level and hence offering opportunities for future growth in the legal advice on human rights. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel.